Universal Impossible. What's up, everybody? Y'all know I got to do my little brush and get it all sorted. We got a special guest tonight. We're going to have some fun. I'm still getting used to this whole Instagram and Facebook thing, but let me bring our special guest into Instagram also, because we got her on Facebook too. Edry Photos was good. You know I'm back. Here we go. Hold on, let's see how I do this now. Here, people to go live with. All right. There we go. All right. So now we just gonna wait. Y'all already know what to do. Drop them BEEZ in the chat. I see it already. I didn't even have to say nothing. There we go. See, yeah, bro. Yeah, you can mute you can mute the sound on Facebook if anything.
Okay, I did it from the computer.
All right, cool.
Oh, let me clear my screen. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm like you in the fog, girl. What's going on? All right. Yes. Look at you. See Sierra chilling. See that backdrop right there? I gotta put up like, colorful stuff and whatnot. You got like the natural backdrop.
Man, you gotta come to Miami.
Yo, for real. I'm up in the Fort Lauderdale side. I keep it, chilling. It's different. So what's good, Sierra? How you doing?
I am great. I'm like 2 weeks away from my 30th birthday, so I'm just like going crazy over
Yeah.
here.
Does that make you a millennial?
I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, I do call myself. So when I kind of like, my Instagram was Sierra ESQ, but I would always refer to myself as the millennial lawyer because I'm like,
So you do refer, okay, you actually do refer to yourself as that. I told somebody that, Sierra, I call her the millennial lawyer. I was like, where did I get that from? That's what's up. I swear I never heard you say that before. I just made that up on my own and it just resonated. Look at that.
Get that trademark there.
Yes, you do. So everybody, I want y'all to join me in welcoming our special guest tonight, Miss Sierra ESQ Esquire, the millennial attorney. There we go. So I know, right, man? I love these times where we get to talk to the people, share some knowledge. I just left this amazing conference that I did. It was a virtual conference. I still got to introduce you to Arisha and Grizzy. I Am Surviving Vegan. Huge network. A lot of people follow. They all know them. And they invited me to do this virtual conference that they did. And it was awesome. They had this sweet setup. The studio was amazing. The people were amazing. It was just so much fun, But most important is that everybody was excited about the knowledge that we shared. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. We don't have enough, or I think now we're starting to get there. But back in the day, we ain't had nobody talking about these type of things. We ain't had nobody sharing information, right? I was lost back in the days. Like in college, I was like, yo, when people was talking about they had like $5,000, I was like, how you got that? Like, what'd you do? You know what I mean? So
that's the number today. That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, and that's why I always say change your conversation, change your compensation. Because if you have the right people around you, the right conversations are happening, it just changes everything. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all, Sierra's an attorney. Now, growing up, we all were like, oh, I want to be a doctor. Oh, I want to be a lawyer. But Sierra, even being an attorney, decided, yo, I still want to be an entrepreneur, because you're not necessarily an entrepreneur if you're an attorney. You can be, but it's a whole different thing. See, the thing with having your own practice, for example, is that a lot of it, I mean, you still are a business owner, but a lot of it is dependent on you. You're still self-employed. Yeah. You know what I mean? So exactly. But now you're even with your training, your education, everything, and your, what is it, bar certificate or whatever,
Literally
Really? See? And even with that, you're like, yo, I want freedom, which is different. That time wealth is different from that financial wealth, right?
I have a cool story. Hold on.
Tell me.
So the other day when I got home, I got this box and it says, "Thank you for your partnership.
Okay.
and it's from a law firm.
Okay.
And they're about to send me a check for 6 figures. And this is just blowing my mind because I used to make 6 figures a year from a law firm 1 year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have a really it's kind of controversial, but I have to tell the story.
Tell it. We getting all the sauce tonight, y'all. We getting the sauce from Sierra.
So, I was working at a law firm 1 year ago, right? And it's crazy because I have braids right now, but I never even wore braids or anything at law firms. And it was Halloween, and I remember my boss, all the kids came into the law firm for trick-or-treating. So, of course, I'm the young lawyer at the firm, and all the kids went trick-or-treating in the lawyer's offices. So, I'm young, so I'm ooh, I'm about to excite these kids. I'm about to get them king-size candy bars and just big everything. So I have a buffet of candy set up at my desk. So my boss, his daughter comes in and she's just looking at me and admiring me. She's over here excited about her candy. And then her dad comes in a few minutes later and he sees her admiration towards me. So he can't let her just have that admiration towards me. He tells her when they're walking out, tell her, bye, Felicia. And I'm just Felicia? Don't call me Felicia. But it's just crazy to me, the law partner a year ago was disrespecting me and calling me Felicia, and now I'm getting checks his 1 year later. So I'm time will change real quick. So you gotta be I have to share that story.
Listen, that's a powerful story. Y'all don't understand. Oh, wait, first and foremost, shout out to Splurge Nation for the badge. Appreciate you. Now listen, the power in that story is not just the fact that Sierra getting paid, because that's powerful too, but the fact that it's just a year ago. I tell everybody all the time, everything that they've seen that I've accomplished, it's only been in 5 years. You know what I mean? I was working at Microsoft in 2016 and I left it and was yo, I got to figure out something to do. And now people are yo, how you making all this money? How you did all of this? I'm yo, it was only in 5 years. So that means anybody could do it, but it takes that first step. We often have analysis paralysis, right? And we sit there and we're oh, I don't know. Let me keep doing, let me search more. Let me do this. But listen, the truth is success doesn't only love opportunity and preparation. It loves opportunity, preparation, and speed, right? Sometimes you got to act on certain things. You got to make things happen quickly, right? So that's a perfect story. Kudos to you. So what is it that you did that earned 6 figures in that one check?
I love it. So, okay. So I think you would relate when I say we always think about how can I work smarter and not harder. So before I got paid to litigate cases, right? I think it's funny too because the other day they were on live and they're I don't think Sierra even likes being an attorney. I'm oh, no, you have no idea how much I love being an attorney. So because I'm an attorney, law firms, I can get referral fees from them, right? So I'm licensed in California, but now that I'm an attorney who has a reach that's everywhere in the United States, I had a light bulb. I'm oh my God. So if I take law firms a whole bunch of cases, now instead of me actually practicing, I could just get paid from being the middleman and just marketing for law firms. And then because only 5% of lawyers is Black, I'm oh, these law firms, they can't even attract my people. I'm the only person who can attract them because I hate to say it, but I don't really have a whole lot of competition. There's not, first of all, there's already not a whole lot of lawyers. And then there's not any lawyers that have as many followers as me. And a lot of lawyers who have huge platforms, they're not thinking about how they can still get money in law. They're either completely change their career or they, their products aren't law related. It's always just they have a ton of followers, but they're not really thinking about how to use that law degree. So I just refer them cases.
I got you. So, okay, that's perfect. because tonight's topic is choosing your next business. It's probably one of the questions I get the most. It's like, I don't even know what business to start, or I already started and I got it kind of running and I want to see what else to do and I don't even know what to do, right? So I wanted to talk about the secrets of horizontal and vertical integration, right? And what Sierra just did is already started to give y'all the juice on that. What she's doing is very close to something called affiliate marketing, right? So affiliate marketing, if you talk about the same topics a lot, right? And you got an audience that's listening to those topics, then any of those like resources that you would typically need for those topics, go get an affiliate agreement with them. And then when you refer people and say, hey, yeah, check this out, which you were going to refer anyway, now you're getting paid for it too. You may not get the full 6-figure bag each time like Sierra did, but you get the idea. You can. I know probably about 4 people actually who have made it to 7 figures and they don't have their own business. All they do is affiliate marketing, right? So it's definitely a powerful thing that people overlook too often. You feel me? Now,
and they talk about and refer things like all the time without getting paid. So
yeah,
it's really like more of us should look into affiliate marketing. Especially there's people who come to me all the time. They're like, I don't know. I want to start a business, but I don't know what. It's just like, okay, well, think about what you literally always talk about all the time. Like, there's a product that you refer every day. I think it's funny because, you told me about ClickUp, and then I became obsessed with it. And then I'm literally like, okay, I already can see that this is going to be something I teach my students. So how do I contact them? Because I refuse to tell these students about it unless I get paid.
So you trying to tell me that I should have got paid for telling you about it, is what you said.
Yeah,
but
once I get the affiliate information, I'm definitely sending it to you because I
can
see like you can make a video. I look at YouTubers, right?
Yeah.
They literally make videos around affiliate links, whether it be Amazon affiliate links.
Yep.
So y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. I'm happy that we don't have like crazy all my followers, and y'all can get a secret, right?
Ooh, here we go.
So I'm starting my YouTube channel, and I'm like, okay, you can get paid per views. That's cool. But imagine if you have so I'm a Rocket Lawyer partner. I'm gonna be a ClickUp partner. So don't get mad if y'all see me breaking down a Rocket Lawyer contract.
Ooh.
And then in the caption saying, and on top of it, you could get it here.
Ooh.
So when you watch it, I'll get paid for the view. And then if you buy the template, I'll get paid.
There you
go. Put a percentage of that too.
There you go. My brother David Shans, right? Social Proof Podcast. I was talking to him one day and he's like, yo, BEEZ, I got 160 streams of revenue. I was like, what? Because, everybody always laugh at me. They're like, yo, BEEZ got, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 streams of revenue in businesses alone. That's not even accounting like real estate. But he was like 160 something. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, every single episode of my podcast, not only do I get paid by just from the ads that are running on it, I also get paid by all of the affiliate things that are included in each. And they live forever. If you post something on Instagram a month later, it's buried down. Nobody goes down there unless you got that stalker that's like, looking at all your pictures and stuff. But on YouTube, if your topic is a topic that someone is going to be looking for, they'll find your video, whether it was posted yesterday or a year ago, and you'll still get paid from it. So that is insane. That is powerful. And that's why Dave has been telling everybody, yo, podcast is the future. I mean, it's the past too. It's been out. But if you have a business and don't have a podcast also, or some sort of YouTube presence, then you're missing out on a lot of revenue. So you in the right path already. I love it. That's what's up.
Yes, it's like, I just entered this space 1 year ago, and it's like when I was at work, I didn't have to think about the different ways that I would make money. But if you're like a person who's like making money like from online, use that platform, you'll literally sit. I don't sleep at night, y'all, because all I could ever think about is like, there's just so many things that I could do to make money that I can't like stop thinking about it. I can't stop applying it. Can't stop, because it's like, it's endless. You have endless opportunities. When you have a job, that's just your one income source.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I was thinking about too, like, you know, people don't start businesses because they're afraid, right? Because they're so used to having security. But it's kind of crazy because it's like what keeps us going and what excites us is like that lack of security from that job. Like maybe you will say like your system give you that guaranteed security, but still it doesn't feel like, you know, another person like handing you a check. It's like I have to create a check every single day. Otherwise, I'm not gonna have the money. That's how I feel.
Definitely. Shout out to 1976 Ivy for the badge. Appreciate you. So this is what I'm gonna get into. First of all, y'all see the pinned post, at least on IG, right? Share this live with 5 people, then drop some BEEZ in the chat, right? Let's let it keep going, because we're gonna get into some deep info tonight. Right? I'm gonna explain to everybody. As a matter of fact, I got a video coming out about this probably tomorrow, but I'm gonna give y'all a little heads up on it and explain how I did it, how I ended up from business to business to business to business. Right now, let's preface it. Let's start with saying the quote that a lot of people don't know. Right? Sierra heard me say this the other day. This quote is important. This quote is gonna change your perspective on a lot of things. Hold on, let me change my music in the background. Normally, I'd have this music blasting while I'm speaking, and it's a vibe. But you know, since Sierra's on, we got to turn it down so that we can hear Sierra. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm gonna put on. You here for the party? That's what I'm talking about. Should I go with some straight up party music or some world beats tonight? I don't know. Let's see. I'll start with some world beats, and we see what happens. Some Afro funk and everything.
Oh, that sounds fun.
There we go. Okay. So now, first thing that y'all got to remember is this quote. I want everybody to drop some hands in the chat if you've heard a jack of all trades is a master of none. Just drop some hands in the chat. A jack of all trades is a master of none. While I do that, let me turn on my do not disturb. There we go.
Oh, man, the phone calls be coming in.
Yo, it's been nonstop. I see Business Builder Brick got one. Sierra's dropping it. A jack of all trades is a master of none. If you have heard this, drop some hands in the chat. There we go. Right? All right, there we go. Listen, a few months ago, earlier this year, somebody was posting. He was like, oh, BEEZ, I don't understand how you have all of these businesses. You're telling people to just have a bunch of businesses. That doesn't make sense. You're just a busy bee and you can't even manage all of these businesses. I didn't even bother replying to them, but I came online and said, let me explain a little something. So I'm about to change your whole perspective. So listen closely. What you heard is not the full quote. Just like the media sometimes does, they give you a part of it, and then you feel like you know what's going on, but it's not the actual thing. The actual quote is, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. You heard me? Oftentimes better than a master of one. Let me explain why I say that. Let me give you some context, right? Now, when I start any business, there's multiple departments, multiple things, multiple realms of my business, right? But hold on, I gotta pin that one. Thank you, Britt. Let's go pin that. But here's the thing. I need to know a little bit enough about finance so that my finance expert is not gonna, rip me off. I need to know a little bit about marketing but my marketing experts are gonna handle it, but I need to know what's going on so I can kind of steer the direction. I need to know a little bit about every single aspect of my business, right? But I'm a business owner. I am not self-employed. If you're self-employed, then you got to do it all yourself. That's where the fake part of the quote comes in, if you're self-employed. But as a business owner, so I'm not trading my time for money anymore. Now I am, I'm reclaiming my time, getting that time wealth back. Now I know a little bit of everything in the business, but I hire the experts. You don't have to be the expert. You hire the experts, right? So
I
now,
don't want to be the expert.
exactly. I want to get that money rolling in. I want to hire people to help my business to operate, right? And I want to reclaim my time, right? So let me explain to y'all the key thing about when I say that I got, I have multiple companies, established quite a nice portfolio. But what I've done is I made sure that I have process systems and people in my business. That way the business is running. It's my song right here. Gotta hear the love rhythm. There we go. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit. If it get too loud, y'all in the group in the audience tell me. But I want to make sure that my business is somewhat autonomous. It's running without me. It's not dependent on me. I'm not self-employed. I'm a business owner, right? This is what all of us should be striving for. And too often we say, oh no, I just got to do it myself. Nobody could do it just like me. That's BS. You just got to be able to document what you're doing, document your processes so that you could then have someone else trained in how to do it. Because if you know how to do it, you could teach someone else, right? And you can say that, oh, well, they're not going to do it as good as me because I have a certain eye for some creative or something like that. Listen, so then you feel that you're the expert in everything? Nope. You know what I'm saying? You got to get these experts. You got to delegate. Her perfect image just said, that's what I need to learn how to do. Delegate. Exactly. Right?
Because like my whole life, I used to tell my mom, right? I used to get in trouble so much. I wasn't that kid, and you got kids, I'm sure you got one. That's just like, they just go against you, right? My mom would be saying, just starting with the task as like cooking. You gotta learn how to cook. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't know how to cook. You gotta learn how to cook. No, I don't. What you gonna do? I'm gonna hire somebody to cook for me, right? Mom, you gotta clean up. No, Mom, I'm gonna have people clean it up for me. You gotta do your laundry. No, I'm gonna have somebody doing my laundry. Every single thing I've always in my entire life tried to figure out, how do I get myself out of doing this? When it was schoolwork, I'm sitting here like, hey, I will pay you to write my paper. It was like that in school. But then always kind of looking at, I would rather oversee somebody doing what I'm supposed to be doing than actually doing it. And they said, like, those type of kids will be called lazy, crazy, but it's like, oh no, you're meant to be a boss.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of calling them lazy and crazy, you call them creative, right? Because if my son somehow identified like someone else to pay to mow the lawn or something, if I had him mowing the lawn, then I'd be pissed at him that he went around me telling him to do it. But I'd be like, all right, good job, bro. Because, you came up with something else. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I love it. I love it. So listen, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to share with y'all my companies and what I did, how I led from one to the other. Because now we're going to get deeper into the whole horizontal and vertical integration, right? And this is how you're going to kind of identify how to start, what business to start, right? Now, first of all, make sure that y'all are already following Sierra _ESQ. It's underscore, right? Yeah, there you go.
I can type it too.
Perfect. Follow Sierra _ESQ. Follow me, Business Builder BEEZ, right? Make sure you guys are following and make sure you are tagging people to come into this live because we about to go in. All right, Ricardo, what's good, fam? What's good? All right, so here we go. We about to go in. Now, let me explain. The first thing that I did, wait. I'm sorry. Before that, the first thing I do every single time I start a company is I start by buying a course or something. I basically find a mentor, most of the time you got to pay for a mentor. You should already have that mentality that, I want this person to be my mentor. I'm willing to invest in myself by investing in them to learn what they did, right? So I always start there because one, I'm going to see a proven model. I want to make sure that mentor has done what he's trying to teach, he or she is trying to teach. But once you know that they have, invest in them in order to invest in yourself, right? Now, Behead, 1914. Oh, that's brother Gibson. Definitely spreading the word. My brother BBB at his finest. Bigger and better business. What's good? That's my frat brother right there. International director of Bigger.
What were you?
What's that?
What were you?
Oh, I'm a Sigma, not word.
Are you?
That's right. I'm a Sigma. There we go. Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Let's go. All right. So here's what happened. I always invest in a course or something in order to find out to learn a couple of mistakes that someone else made first, right? That way, there go my guy, my frat brother Azam. What's good? All right. Next thing I do is I structure the business. A lot of times you'll find people who teach you a specific thing. Oh, I'm gonna teach you how to sell on Amazon. I'm gonna teach you how to repair credit. I'm gonna teach you this. I'm gonna teach you that. But they don't teach you how to run a business, right? So that's the other aspect that fortunately I have a background on, right? Because I was doing it in my corporate career. I was going in and restructuring businesses, global Fortune 500 companies, right? The Economic Solutions, shout out for you for that badge. Appreciate you. So the next thing I do now is I'm going to identify a need. We don't sell products. We don't sell services. We sell solutions. All right. We don't sell products. We don't sell services. We sell solutions. Find a solution for someone, and then it's not even selling anymore. They're begging you for it. They'll come to you. Exactly.
It's not hard to sell something somebody needs. If you have to push somebody to do something, it's because they don't need it.
They don't need it, and you got to convince them, right? Now we don't need that. High maintenance cleaning 716. Shout out to you for the badge. Appreciate you.
That's a need. They have a need-based business right there.
There you go, and there you go. Exotic CEO. Shout out to you for the badge as well. Okay, so here's what happened. I started after I left Microsoft. I started doing e-commerce. I'm telling y'all right now, e-commerce is a very strong region to be in, industry to be in, right? It's a long-term game though. Some people want that quick flip, quick money type of stuff. That's not e-commerce unless you're doing drop shipping. But even then, you got to spend money on marketing. You're not spending money on inventory, but you're spending money on marketing if you're drop shipping. But what I did was Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, right? So here's what I did. I got into this. I bought a course that somebody was teaching how to sell on Amazon. Then it wasn't so much only about the course and the information, but it was also about the community. At the time, there was like 3,000 people in the community who was also learning how to sell on Amazon, right? Shout out to AC, shout out to Ricardo, shout out to David Rollins. What's good? What's good? So what I ended up doing now is I was networking. And I always tell people that networking is the most important thing that you can do in business, right? I took 2 companies to 7 figures without having to pay for ads or anything, all through networking, going to events, networking, and just continuing to grow, right? Now, in this community, I started asking questions because networking is not just sitting back and absorbing information and saying hi. No, I'm engaging with people. I'm talking to them. And I was like, yo, what do y'all find to be the biggest pain point in your business? We all in e-commerce. We all doing private labeling on Amazon. What's your biggest pain point? And everybody would say the same thing. Oh, dealing with China, dealing with the suppliers and whatnot. I was like, really? It's like, okay. You see what I'm saying? And Sierra know because she know that's one of my businesses. Immediately, I was like, yo, I told this on the conference that I did this weekend. I bust out and spoke in Mandarin because I speak a good bit of Mandarin, right? So I bust out and spoke in Mandarin. They was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? But what did I do? I went to China. I started to figure out things. I started creating partnerships and then ended up creating a supply chain management company that helps e-commerce sellers to deal with everything in China. Got 3 warehouses, 2 offices over there where we are able to then help you to deal with the suppliers, investigate them first, do background checks. We're able to help you with inspection, shipping, everything for your e-commerce products out of China. Most people's like, yo, how you, this black man, got a company in China, right? I'm walking around China. I'm like the only black guy in the whole sea of people and whatnot. But I found a need. I created a solution. for a problem that everybody had, right? So let me go. I'm gonna give y'all 3 more examples, and then I'm gonna let Sierra jump in on this too. So okay, now I got my first 2 businesses. So what did I do?
Before you move
Yeah,
on
go.
from that, I just think it's so crazy because my friend and I, literally the day before I called you trying to figure out a whole bunch of things, I had a friend and we sat and we're just like, we've been thinking about like products-based businesses where you deal with Alibaba, and I'm from LA, so we just literally you gonna walk over and just go find it in LA. And then we were like, wait a second, these people in LA are making a crazy amount of money. You need to go straight to the source. Exactly. So we literally all night were just like frantically trying to figure out like how do you go straight to China? So I think it's dope that you had that same moment and you did exactly that when you realized like this is a need and did it. And I literally the day before I found out that you do that was trying to put those things together in my head.
There you go. And you just said you go to the source. I always say one of my favorite movies is Denzel Washington, American Gangster, when he was playing Frank Lucas. And what he did, it was in the drug trade, but he did the same thing. He was like, cut the middleman and go hit it up. Now, there's power in being a middleman too, right? There's a lot of middleman businesses that are great. You see what I'm saying? Because Sierra just explained that. She's a middleman between these different law firms, and she can just make money, don't got to do nothing, right? Just, referring people, right? So there's power in being a middleman, but if you are, starting your business, you could also try to cut out any additional middlemen. You know what I'm saying? So let me go. I'm gonna keep it going. All right. And shout out to everybody. I see some great comments in the chat for sure. Mandarin speaking black man, yo, for real. Mentor me, Sweet Pea. Hey, Sweet Pea, if you want to join my mentorship, check the link in my bio. Business Builder BEEZ. Click the link in my bio. You could join the Business Builders Institute. We go over this and so much more. But all right, so here's what happened. Diamond closed deals, middleman, virtual assistant. True. There we go. All right, hold on. Let's drop this here again. Pin comment. Okay, thank you, Britt. Now, what happened next? Now I got my first 2 companies, right? The second one was growing phenomenally without me having to even advertise or anything because I was networking with these people who needed that solution, right? So what happened next? I said, okay, let me expand within my business. I had 2 at that time, and one was e-commerce, and I was doing private labeling. So now I started looking at vertical integration. I started looking at what within my business can I also do to add a stream of revenue that's still in the realm of e-commerce? And that was drop shipping. Now, the difference between private labeling and drop shipping is that private labeling, you buy product, you ship it into some sort of fulfillment center, in this case, Amazon, and then Amazon takes care of the fulfillment, right? Drop shipping, you don't got to buy no product. You create a site on Shopify, right? And then when a customer comes and buys your product, they buy this brush for $100. Yeah, I'm charging a bag for this brush, $100 for this brush. Then as soon as they pay $100, I take that 100 and go spend $2 to the supplier and buy the brush, and then the supplier sends it to the consumer, the person who bought it, right? Without receipts, whatever, because the supplier knows that you're drop shipping. When I found this model, I was like, yo, I ain't never paying regular price for nothing again because everybody jipping me. I don't know who drop shipping, and I'm paying $20 for something that's really 10 cents, right? But that's the case. That's how it worked. So let me continue. Because you don't need inventory when drop shipping, you have to market a lot, right? You have to do a lot of marketing because nobody knows you. Everybody goes to Amazon to buy stuff, but they don't go to your site. They don't know you. So you have to spend a lot of money on marketing. So I started perfecting how do I market. So after perfecting it, I was like, okay, hold on. I'm really good at this marketing stuff now. Let me spin it out and create another business, right? So this business, because I first had it, I got it up and running, it's doing good within my company, but then I spun it out and said, okay, let me create a new LLC. I'll put that whole operations in that LLC. That company will do the marketing for my other 2 companies, plus get external clients for marketing. So now it had immediately had customers from the internal companies, and then also started getting customers from external as well, and growing as its own business. So I gave that third business a head start, right? So let's continue down the line. I'm just going to tell y'all a couple of these, right? Now, I started learning that you can hire people from abroad remotely, right? So you can actually, let's start back. Before that, I started learning that, going to the SBA, like creating a whole business plan, 50, 60 page business plan to go to the bank to get a loan from the government, the SBA. I was like, nah, this ain't working. I learned that I could focus on my credit instead. So I mastered credit. I got my credit from, well, actually at that time, it wasn't that bad. It was like a 6 something at that time. But I'm talking about years before when it was like a 5 something at one point, right? It was terrible. But I got it from a 6 something at that time of me launching these companies to 800, right? 800 credit score. Now I was able to go into these banks and I'm getting 50,000, 60,000 and more. And, started building a whole heap of credit that I was then able to use to fund my businesses. This credit is not my personal credit. This is credit in my business name, right? So now I figured out how to fix credit. I figured out how to get funding because I started learning which banks to get it from. So I launched Capital BEEZ. Is this my Capital BEEZ hat? No, this is my business builder's hat. I launched Capital BEEZ, which is my financial company. Why? Because now in the finance, the bookkeeping, the credit building, the credit repair, all of the stuff I was doing internally, I said, okay, let me spin it out into its own company. Now this company does the bookkeeping and funding for all of the internals, but now it also offers services to other entrepreneurs who need to know how to fund their business, who need to fix their credit, all of that, right? And I'll say one last one and then I'm gonna stop. I can tell y'all how it just kept going, but you get the idea, right? So the next one was I started realizing that you can hire people remotely, overseas, the Caribbean, Philippines, Africa, these different places, and they were for a lower price rate, right? They're lower salary. In the Philippines, their salary, average salary is like $400 or $500 a month. It was actually even less at the time, and that's their cost of living. So for a full-time employee. For a full-time employee. You see what I'm saying? So now I get to, and you're not even supposed to use the word employee technically because of taxes, things and all that stuff, but don't worry about that. I'll explain all of that later.
Act like that didn't happen.
You know what I'm saying? Act like it didn't happen. Don't worry though, as long as there's certain criteria that the IRS looks at and says, oh, you don't have to pay no taxes on them because they are not doing any work on U.S. soil, et cetera, et cetera. But we can talk about that another time.
I'm amazed. Oh my God, hold up. That's like a whole nother beauty of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You could continue to hire. I don't even know anymore. It's like I don't think we're in somewhere around 80 something, 90 something. I don't even know, because between my China staff, between the Filipino staff, Caribbean staff, etc., it's I just keep hiring, right? And my costs are real low, and I'm able to scale my businesses quickly. So remember, I told you, process, systems, and people to scale your business, right? You got to have funding in it, of course, but process, systems, and people makes your business autonomous, makes it operate without you. So you're no longer self-employed, but you're a business owner. So now I was able to hire a bunch of people, VAs. CEO Usman said VAs, exactly. Now what happened? I said, okay, mind you, in the beginning, Sierra, it was rough. I used to get some terrible ones. I had somebody try to steal my Google Ads account, right? Because they were messing up, and I was like, hey, we're gonna have to let you go. And they tried to lock me out of it and all type of stuff, right? I had some people who would just ghost me in the middle of their work. They'd just be gone, and they'd be like, oh, my internet went out for like 3 days, right? So eventually I learned how to hire properly. I learned how to filter them out. I have a whole funnel of interview process. I learned how to manage them properly. I learned how to give them career paths to create a good corporate culture, right? The credit consultants, are you Bjorn on Facebook? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, my real name is Bjorn. It's a Swedish name, but that's why I go by BEEZ to make it easier for everybody. Yes, link up. So now, after I mastered dealing with VAs, remote people, I said, okay, let me spin that out. And that became another business, right? That business is ATAC Solutions. My COO is right there. That's who I pinned her comment right there. Business Bill of Brick, right? So now I just wanted y'all to see this. I basically found a solution, right? I first started by saying, hey, let me find a mentor that's doing something, that's making some money, so that I can say, all right, I can at least start there. Then after I did that, I started figuring out solutions to sell to people instead of only business products or services. Then I started just doing a little bit of horizontal information, integration and vertical integration. I'm sorry, I did that the wrong way. Vertical integration and horizontal integration, right? I started out by private labeling. Oh, now let me do drop shipping. Then I mastered marketing. Let me go this direction. And the marketing spun out. It's related, but it's not perfectly related. It's not exactly in the same industry, but they're needed between each other, right? So these are the secrets of what businesses start, how to integrate properly. You don't want to start off like, yeah, I'm selling brushes. Now I'm a dog groomer. There's no real, relation to it.
I think you're so smart, but I'm like, I want to make this like really, really like simple. Right? I understand what you're saying, but I just really feel like, so the first time I ever even heard of vertical integration was because of Nipsey Hussle. I was listening to him, and he said he's integrating vertically. I said, what does that mean? I didn't know what it meant. So then I Googled it, and then, like, if you Google it, like, the definition is basically like, the needs of your businesses take care of the other needs of the businesses. I still did not really honestly know what that meant. And then I started talking to people like you, right? And then I'm like, okay, now this actually makes sense, right? So what he did was, one business has needs, right? So let's say, my law firm needs a marketing agency. I am a lawyer, and I do have a law firm, and I don't have a marketing agency, but I have a consulting agency. So what if my consulting agency consults my law firm on how to market, right? And then what if with my consulting agency, what if I did like him? So I have consulting agency. Before I met him or spoke to him, I'm like, I was just hiring people directly, hiring them directly. But imagine if I trained up a whole bunch of assistants who worked under me, and I'm like, wait a second, they can't only work under me because another business could pay them to work. My business pays them to work, but then I also get paid for like training up these people to work for me. So essentially, if you could think about every need of your business, and instead of providing it from within the business, you create a whole nother business to provide your business's needs, then you have something.
There you go.
So I think like it's really simple too. Like we're getting to a point where everybody's wanting to invest in real estate, and I think that everybody's like getting to a point where they're interested in like, people just want cars in general, right? Everybody wants cars. Everybody wants real estate. So if we think about just vertical integration in those two things, I had my cleaning lady here yesterday, and I'm like, you want to start a cleaning business?
Let me tell you.
Somebody got to clean the houses, right?
That's a perfect one. I'm gonna tell. Well, first, hold up. Credit consultants like trees and branches, exactly. I don't know how to say that. The economic solutions, Rip Nipsey for sure. Let's see. Real talk, Tina. Yo, for real. Trust me, you need the right ones. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everything is perfect and rosy. I still have problems here and there, but
dealing with any employee, whether they virtual or here.
Exactly. You're gonna have issues. Exactly. So what you just said, Sierra. Okay, all right, perfect. The key is I also created a consortium, right? So what's a consortium? In essence, not only am I serve, first of all, think about this. Apple does it, right? Apple relies on Samsung for their screens, but they're slowly about to, create their own business of making the screens as well. They started making their own chips and they got rid of Intel, right? So many companies do this. They say, hey, this is a key aspect of my business. I got to spend the money on it anyway. Let me spend it on a sister company, right? So now this consortium, now I saw somebody ask something about no, if that's no conflict of interest. I'm not sure what that was specifically about, but I think I have an idea. There's something that you have to keep in mind. You do not want to pierce the corporate veil. You don't want to commingle funds where you're just drawing money from each company or something. You have to do it in a very meticulous and planned out way. You got to say, oh, this company is going to extend credit to that company and create a little agreement. Contact Sierra so that you could get that that agreement written up or something, and then you're paying it back too, right? So you bench company just my marketing company is going to do marketing for this other company, but I could also extend credit to each other. I could say, oh, this company is about to start up. I'm gonna use this company, which is already cash flowing, and put investment in it, some sort of ROI from that investment over a year's time or something, right? So that's definitely a method of this consortium.
Tax-wise, wouldn't that like offset your profits from one business if you invest some money from one business into a new business?
So offset your profits from the original business, because it's the same thing like you're doing if it was an external business. You're making a sound investment, right? You get to control the decision making between that investment, you know what I'm saying? But it's still an investment that you're doing, as long as you do it the right way, right? You guys I don't want anyone commingling and just drawing things and doing things wrong, right? Because you still got to report all of these things to the IRS and stuff, right? So make sure you're doing it the right way, but know that the power is there. I want y'all to, if y'all don't believe anything I'm saying, look up Donald Trump and look at how many listen, look at Donald Trump and look at how many LLCs he owns. I think it's like 1,200 LLCs, 1,200 entities, right? Business entities. And why is that? Why has he been bankrupt so many times, but yet somehow still a billionaire, right? Because he's utilizing this same type of model. And as much as some people don't like him, I don't like him. But I ain't mad at him for paying $750 on taxes if that's what the law says he can do. I just want to know how to do it too. You know what I'm saying?
About what you said, how you said you mastered the power of building credit. Yes. So I think that another added value of integrating vertically is that each business on its own has its own business credit profile.
Yes. Listen, Sierra, I have a little bit over, well, probably a little bit more now. We just got another 100,000. I got a little bit over $1 million in business credit. In business credit, right? I could take that and do whatever I want with it. I could take and do, but what am I doing? I ain't going out and buying Jordans or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out. Well, hell, I got a friend of mine. He buys Jordans and resells them, and he's actually making some money off of it. But so I can't say that. But you know what I'm saying? Everything that I'm doing is an investment that is going to return some money. Exotic CEO just said the key thing: control everything, own nothing. So when we start talking about what Trump did with the taxes, that you got to understand, he also has a trust in place. I won't even get into the trust discussion tonight, because the trust discussion is going to take a whole nother, that'll take a whole nother direction. We'd be going all night. But having a trust in place, the right type of trust, and the irrevocable trust is important. Because when you have this trust in place, there's a certain form, and I'll only say this and then that's it. There's a certain form that you file with the IRS that lets you defer taxes in perpetuity. As long as the trust is in existence and not dissolved, you continue to defer the taxes. Now it goes down to your next generation of kids. They can defer the taxes. They're not doing nothing illegal. It's an actual form from the IRS that you fill out, one single form, easier than filing your taxes, that you just click, no, thank you, I ain't paying that today. And that's it, you know? But that's a whole different discussion. That's wealth preservation. For now, we're going to talk about wealth creation.
I feel like really soon, of course not today, but I've actually like trust, and I think trust alone have been really heavy on my heart, because I'm like, on this here internet, everybody is talking about making money. And to be honest, I'm a product of a trust started trust for me. So blessed that other people aren't. I have a like people are not doing that. So when my parents started their businesses, when they buy properties, I know unequivocally, oh wow, got some wealth right there. That is different. And it's like if they didn't have it in a trust, I could think that it might be lost. But if it's in a trust, you have some peace, right? That you're gonna start passing things down generation upon generation. That's like we're not starting businesses to lose them when we die.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't have kids yet, but everything I do right now is for kids, and they don't even exist yet. But the only way to even pass something to them is through a trust. You have a will. Let's say, and I know you don't want to get too deep into it. You have two kids, right? Let's say you have a wild child and a child that you know this child is going to be fine, right? But unfortunately, you're just ignorant. You just write a will. And let's say your problem child goes to the judge and says, oh, my dad was crazy when he drafted that. And they contest your will. Then your kids will be sitting here fighting in court over your will, where you had a trust in place. There's no dispute. They cannot penetrate what your intention was. Your intention is carried.
I'm turning on here right now because she's telling y'all right now a will is just a ticket to probate court. That's all it is, right? Most people think, oh, my will says exactly what's going to happen. No, what write the will when you're alive is a private document. But as soon as you, the lawyer, the attorney that executes the will makes it a public document, right? And talk to the people that's in it, they make it a public document. Now your creditors, they get first that public and your estate. They get first dibs, right?
Creditors before your children.
Creditors before your children. That's why we trust, but we can't go no deeper on that one. That's a whole nother. Trust me on that. No pun intended. Trust. Yo, for real. But listen. First of all, I see a lot of people asking to save this live. Yes, it will be saved on my page. Make sure you are following Business Build BEEZ. Make sure you're also following Sierra _ESQ. Also have it in both Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I'll have it on YouTube and on Facebook. So check me out on all of those. All right. So yeah, overall, I think everybody about my path of how I chose businesses. What do you think about that overall?
So, first of all, I'm so happy I met you, right? Because I don't have to consume your time to be mentored by you. All I really have to do is just look at what you're doing. So, just looking at and listening to you, I'm like, has me think. When I first came in, I was just thinking just like linear and thinking about doing everything myself. Let's start there. I used to do everything myself, and then I was like, wait a second. And then it's crazy to me too, because I never thought about creating, operating procedures, policies and procedures, right? But when I was in practice, the second we sue a business, the first thing we asked for in discovery was policies and procedures. I don't know why I didn't have this light bulb that I actually needed for myself. But I realized that's how you can get out of the business. So now all I think about is just like how to remove myself out of this. How do I build it to remove myself? And honestly, I don't really want to build too much. I just want to build based off of my own needs. So what am I thinking now? I have my needs of my law firm. So how do I get those needs met? And then I also think about, I think about that business model with houses, because I always wanted to something to cash flow, and then I wanted to put my cash flow into real, so I don't have to work and I just could, just collect checks every month. So, okay, so with my real estate, I'm gonna need a gardener. I'm gonna need a cleaning person. I've always had a vision of like luxury real estate. So that has me like, okay, so I'm gonna probably want like a private chef too.
I got the perfect one for you.
I don't know about what kind of car I want, but it's like I'm not gonna tell them all.
You told me. That's gonna happen soon. We're gonna make that happen for sure.
Definitely, but I'm like, okay, so the kind of car I want, business in it, just the car I want. So this thing. Their wants, right? So do we really need a chef? I guess that if you're a luxury rental, yeah, you probably need a chef. Probably need a cleaner. Probably need a maid. I don't know if it's wants or, but I definitely want businesses to supply my own wants, and I want to create that with real estate.
There we go. I love that. First of all, I have you too. First of all, we something big, because there's so many powerful entrepreneurs, and I'm telling everybody right now, being an entrepreneur be the thing, right? It can be. You're gonna feel like, damn, nobody understands why I just spent this money on that. Then nobody understands what I'm talking about when I said I'm at this conference, all of that. But when we come together as entrepreneurs, it's a powerful thing. It takes us to a whole other level. And the best example I could give is what's been going on in Atlanta. All of my people been coming together. It's so much positivity, so much wealth, so much education, right? All of these things are important. We got to do it. We got to recreate that in every city that we're in. Right, I'm doing it down here in South Florida. I got my brother Van doing it in Vegas. I got people in New York. I got people in Cali. I see somebody else who said that they in Cali. Everybody, we got to. Matter of fact, anyone who's in South Florida, and even if you're not in South Florida, come down this Saturday. I'm having another networking event. It's at with all cars and everything that I rent out. So you could come with some your cameras and do your little content shoot if you want, right? Can y'all do something like credit consultants? Of course, but Atlanta powerful already. Y'all got people up in Atlanta.
We get invited. We live in Florida, and I'm pretty sure every single week we get invited to something in Atlanta.
Every single week.
But I moved to Miami, and I'm like, I don't ever get invited to anything here. Yeah. The only way I go out to some type of event is when I go to Atlanta. But I'm hosting my first event on my birthday. The first week.
Go.
I'm excited. I'm nervous too, but it's just like whatever. We got to do it.
There we go. Listen, I'm excited for your birthday too. That's gonna be an event. I hope y'all are ready. Listen, I am Chardeline Vigny. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at reading these names, but if you in Miami, go to my page, my bio, click the link in the bio, and then you'll see the form to register to say, yeah, you're gonna come to the networking event. And we're doing it every month. We're gonna do it once a month, every month, and just we're gonna build it up. Listen, when y'all meet some of the people that I know, insane. Make sure networking.
Meeting you alone. I'm like, what the heck is this man?
Oh, thank you.
He's like, you guys know a lot of, like my friends, we're all business coaches, but we call him. We call him as him, y'all.
I appreciate you.
So I can't imagine your like network that you're sharing. Y'all have to come for real.
Oh yeah, for real. It's power. It's insane. I was in Dwayne. Yo, what's good? Long time, man. See, I'm seeing people pop up in different areas here. Yo, listen, I was in a room a week and a half ago. There was probably 100 of us in there, maybe a little bit less, and we exceeded a couple hundred million in net worth across everybody. I mean, powerful people, everybody, man. It was so inspiring to be around so much other people who are trying, this making things happen and also giving back. Right, that's been my big thing, is I want to give back to the people. That's why I give away so much information for free for those who want to tap in with me for mentorship and such. Yeah, that's different. I'm helping you hand in hand. That's the Business Builders Institute, right? All you got to do is go check Business Institute. Not only do we go over every single type that you have that in my multiple companies, but we also, I bring people from all throughout my network. I bring, some people roundtable, they were happy they got to meet Sierra and Trishana. They were like, wow, they're so excited to meet y'all too. But they part of my team. Yeah, they came to the event that you did. One of them, oh, you missed it. There was one that interviewed, no, she interviewed you too.
No, she, oh my God.
You remember, that's one of my students.
Over her, she could give me so much game. And like, when you talk to her, ask her what I told her, you're going to die.
Okay.
We literally had a breakthrough this morning. I'm like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
You see?
You think that you're supposed to be doing this, but think about what she's been doing for 18 years.
Yep.
That's your gold mine right there. So
listen,
chopping it up, but I love it. I didn't know you rocked it.
Yep. And I see some of my roundtable members is in there. True, me, what's good, man? Roundtable, baby. Roundtable is one of the elements under the Business Builders Institute. What I'm doing with the Business Builders Institute is that I want to create a different form of education, alternative education, right? The things that we should know in high school and in college and such, we weren't being taught that. Nobody taught us about credit.
You know what's crazy though? So when I was talking to, I told you I was my cleaning lady about starting a cleaning business. Her daughter was here, right? And her daughter, she saw, I don't know how she saw, I don't know how we got onto the subject, but she told me that she learned about stocks in the 6th grade.
Oh, true that.
I literally went, wait a second. I literally almost started crying because I'm like, here I am thinking that the world is a terrible place and that nobody's learning anything. We didn't learn it, but I guess they're teaching these kids now a lot more than they taught us.
Good. That's what needs to happen. And we need to show all the things that I've uncovered in the last 5 years and made into, this little mini empire that I've created. I wish I knew that at 17 years old. You know what I mean? Because I'd be so much farther along. So that's what I'm trying to do with the Business Builders Institute. All that information, talking about trust. Actually, I saw somebody ask a question. It might have been Real Talk Tina asked a question about, what was it that you said? I saw it earlier and I forgot to reply to it because we were speaking. I think it was something about if I could help her with e-commerce, something with e-commerce, Shopify site, Shopify and ads. Yes. So in the Business Builders Institute, in the roundtable, we do go over e-commerce because that's my first love. That's where I, made my first $1 million, and it's just grown since then. But I don't go over ads that much. Now, the power on there got something to add. So my brother right there, I saw him in here a little while ago, Drew Romeo. He did a whole session on ads because he has an ad agency as well. He was able to give some insight on, even if it's something that I don't teach directly, my network is incredibly strong, right? So we go over everything from options to trust to Turo, right? How to, flip your cars. You talk about building businesses together. Here's another thing that we do, right? So I had a friend that came on and gave the whole secrets of how he created a 7-figure cleaning company. Exactly what you talked about, a 7-figure cleaning company. Now, members heard this, they were like, oh, okay, that's cool, but I don't think I want to get into cleaning, right? So I was like, okay, hold on. we in my network come who's also has a 6 or 7 pound ear company. So I was like, okay, so Paris told me, because I knew already, I was like, what's the biggest pain point that you have in the Airbnb business? She's like, oh man, dealing with the cleaning companies. I could never cleaning company. All of my all the round table was like, yo, wait a minute. The whole sauce on how to create a 7-figure cleaning company. And I'm all interested in Airbnb. Now all I got to do is create my own cleaning company that focuses on Airbnb related, like that model turnover. And not only is it going to support my internal business, but now I can also Airbnb sellers that I got a cleaning company good dealing with Airbnb hosts. So you see what I'm saying?
Powerful. And I heard right now too is like, it's kind of actually mind-blowing to me. And I think this is very, very, very important. I saw someone say vision, right? Mm-hmm. I think that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have got to open your mind, because look at how it took, one person literally came with the solution already on the silver platter, but, we weren't really thinking. We're like, oh, I don't really want to start a cleaning business, right? And then it takes a person like, really showing that pain point for us to see it. I really want us to like exercise like our minds in the sense that like, I always think about, let's just say like, if somebody told me, hey, Sierra, you want to start $1 million Airbnb business? I would say yes, but then, I would also anticipate, but what would happen if Airbnb went out of business today? Could my business still stand?
There
and
you
what
go.
would I do? So you have to be a business that you're thinking about like solutions to problems that have yet to come.
There you go.
What happens, I think about every day. In my Instagram deletes.
Yeah. Oh, I know so many people 2 months that have come to me and like, yo, they shut down my Instagram account. Do you have any links to, to hopefully get it back? This is why, and Britt or Lala, could you put my number in the chat? This is why I tell everybody, yo, text me at this number. It takes you into my community. There you go. Put it in, audience off of Instagram, off of Facebook, right? Get the exotic CEO. That's why you need email. Get their email addresses. Get their phone numbers. Get everything. That's the number right there. Y'all text me. Let's pin that. Text me at that number, and you got me. I actually answer in there, and then I now can communicate with you as well when I want to tell you about something new that's going down, right? So it's important that we do that. Hold up, let me text this. Let me pin this one instead. Pin. There we go. There we go. All right. So listen, it's extremely important. Now I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of extra sauce as we start to wrap this up. I'm gonna give y'all a little extra sauce tonight that I don't even, right? But we getting close to the year, so I'm gonna give y'all just a little touch of this, right? Now, think forward. You gotta be looking ahead, right? You can't just be focused on just what's happening right now. Jeff Bezos, every single time that people ask Jeff Bezos, oh man, Amazon did amazing. What are you going to do for next quarter to make, to top this quarter? His answer is typically, listen, what I did for next quarter was done. For, what I'm saying? Everything he's doing now is 3 years in line. He's looking ahead, right? Here's my thing. Everybody I know, and me too, is in Airbnb, is in Turo. I was in trucking, but I just sold out of it for a specific reason related to how it scales, and it doesn't scale well with my methodology. But trucking, credit repair, what else are some of the main things? Whatever. A couple things that you see everybody talk about. Get in it too, for sure. But think about what else. What's going to happen next? So my guy, Marcus, him 500, he was like, he's getting these cars and putting on Turo and flipping them and blah, blah, blah. Let me do it with a jet. He went and got a private jet for entrepreneurs who want to take a private flight. Now he has an aviation company because he's letting them see Young Jedi BEEZ Event Space. That's another one. So Marcus did it with a jet, right? So I started looking. I was already planning, what am I going to do in 2022? Everything in 2021, yeah, I'm making money during it, but it's all in preparation for 2022. And one of the things that I'm working on is a whole program on how you flip. Right now, most people are going to be like, yo, I can't do that. That's going to cost too much. Yeah, but remember I told you the foundation of everything I do is credit, right? And then I talk about processes and how to automate businesses and basically make them ready for sale, right? I talk about, to people, I tell them how you got to have an exit plan to start a business, whether your exit plan is to sell it or to IPO or to pass it to your kids, whatever your exit plan is, as long as you know what it is, then you're going to make decisions based on that direction. Mm-hmm. So if you know that you're going to sell a business and you know you got to put process systems and people in place so that the business is autonomous, then you're preparing yourself for sale. But then I'm also going to teach how you find businesses that could then be renovated and flipped, just like how a house is a fix and flip. How you do that with a business and sell it. If anybody knows Ty Lopez, right? Ty Lopez, during the pandemic, him and his business partner started going out and buying all these brick and mortar companies in order to fix them up and make internet ready, make digital age ready, so that he could then sell them. I got something coming, 2022. Tap in or miss out. That's all I'm gonna say. Trust me.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. And it's like I literally always thought about too. I think it's really important when yes, you get into what everybody's doing, but you also have to like really I don't know how to say it, really the skills and knowledge that you possess, because if you could figure out how to sell that in some way, you have solutions to a lot of people's problems. And I don't want us to overlook the solutions that we've found through our life experiences, wanting to hop on a wave. It kind of, people come to me, right? And they'll be like, what's the best business to start? And I'm like, there's a lot of stuff, you can do to make money, but it kind of blows my mind if I sit down and talk to you and I'm like, well, you've been doing X, Y, and Z for the past 5 years. And there's people that's looking for that exact same thing, but you're looking for the business model that's like guaranteed, but you still have a skill or knowledge that you could be like, create a whole nother lane or industry. And I love that you said that Marcus bought a jet, because it's like he wasn't afraid to move outside of like what the herd was doing at the moment. I hate to say herd, it sounds bad, but what everybody else was doing at the moment.
Yep, it's the truth. It's the truth. You gotta challenge the norm, right? This is how you could be an entrepreneur without it. You could, but the real entrepreneurs challenge the norm. They think outside the box. They keep pushing the envelope, right? Even when you start accumulating some level of success, you're still thinking, okay, let me keep thinking of how to improve, how to keep, standing out. Exotic CEO just said that's how you stand out. I saw a question that said something like, do you think everybody, Drew, can you type it again? Something like, do you think everybody can be an entrepreneur? So I would love to say, yes, everybody can, but it is a natural talent as well as a learned talent.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Since I was a child.
You've been what?
I've been a boss. I'm so sorry. I've been a boss. I was a child.
Exactly. So you already had it naturally, right? Now there's some people who may feel they don't have it naturally, but they can learn it if they really dedicate it. Because here's the thing. I know people who I would have never thought could be an entrepreneur, yet they had their back against the wall. Something happened. They lost everything. And then they took into it, right? So I believe everybody has what it takes to be an entrepreneur, not everybody is willing to do what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Does that make sense? You have what it takes, but I don't think everybody's willing to do what it takes. I'm gonna make a whole skit on that, as a matter of fact. See, Britt and Leslie, remember that.
Number one, like if we were to just like hone in on just like one thing that people need, I feel like it really boils down to the mind.
Mindset. Perspective is the truth. It's the truth. What was it? Oh man, I had a cool. Oh man, what was it? I can't remember right now. Well, y'all just check my skits on my page. Check my real thing. They're insightful. I'm telling you, it's all about mindset, right? And if you change your conversation, you start thinking about different things. I was around conversations where all we were focused on was the. Now I'm around conversations where we're talking about million days. I'm talking right now. Last week when I was in the room, we were all talking about, okay, Black Friday is coming. I had $1 million day last year, and now I'm trying to make it a $5 million day. I'm like, I would have been like, are you crazy? Like, what are you talking about? Now I'm like, okay, true. Yeah, all right. How can we make that happen? You know what I'm saying? My whole mindset has shifted. My perspective and realize that I can accomplish anything, right? People would never think, oh, in China, but it can happen. It can work.
I came in this game, honestly, it's like embarrassing to say, but I sat in my law firm and I really worked really, really hard. And I watched a YouTube video about Kylie Jenner selling out her lip glosses in a matter of minutes. And I said, get me out of this office. Get me out of this office.
Yo, facts.
Because I'm like, wait a second. This is the power of the internet. I already knew it because I already was selling clothes on the internet before I even went to law school. But to me, seeing that young girl, and I'm not jealous or anything, but I do know that I have more intellect than this person. So I'm like, how can I allow somebody who is not even as smart as me to dominate like this? That would actually make me dumb. It would to sit here and accept anything less than millions of dollars to a person with can make things. It's just like we have to look at other people, right, and say. Most of the time, we look at people and we go, "I can't do what they did," but to me, I'm like, "Well,
I can do it."
First of all, I'm about to study the heck out of them. I study the heck out of people, y'all.
Yeah.
I get just like everything they've done. If there's somebody that's like you don't have access to them and you want to achieve what they achieve, you can gain so much in their movements. And I guess this is like the law. When we have a case, right? The first thing we do is research the opponent lawyer.
Of course.
Yeah. We start analyzing their case. So whenever I want to know something, I just analyze the subject. And then it's like you analyze, if they're selling something, you analyze their sales. How do they sell? Yeah. If they have like a model, you could literally, I can't lie, you could be a secret shopper. buy their product.
It's the truth. That's not
recreate their.
Yeah, right now, people do something called funnel hacking, right? You find out the funnel that you're using, and it sounds bad. Funnel hacking. Oh, you're hacking something? No, you're hacking. You find out what they're using, and then you replicate it. That's how business works. Most business in this world is just some sort of offshoot deviation of something else, right? Very few things is like from scratch, completely brand new, right? Those are great too, but that's the only. Love that. I love that. You got it. You have to be willing to understand your competition. There's this thing called a SWAT analysis, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You have to be able to look internally and externally, your strengths and weaknesses, and what are the external opportunities and threats. When you do that, you can really evaluate your situation so you can make better decisions. Sierra told y'all that she investigated and studied the opposing attorney before court case, right? Because it's going to reduce her risk. It's going to increase her chances of navigating and creating the right in order to win the case. This is what I've been telling people the longest when it comes to any business. You have to look at the data, because the data is going to help you to reduce your risk. I knew people that were selling on Amazon, and they were like, yo, I launched this product. I really wanted to sell this brush because I like this. Everybody else is going to like it. And I was like, okay, well, does the data tell you that it's already selling on Amazon? Does the data tell you that it's easy to break into that niche because there's not too many reviews in order to prevent you from rising? Does the data tell you that the keywords are accessible? Does the data, all of these things that you have to learn or you have to evaluate before you get into Amazon and sell any specific product. So it's the same thing. Use data, y'all. Use data, use data, use data. Analytics is a real thing. I know in sports there's a debate about, oh no, we like the traditional, hey, I just like how people, I like this person, I think he has potential, as opposed to, no, I could tell from his running time and this and that, my specific team and blah, blah. Listen, that is the approach that I want y'all to take. And if anybody needs more insight on that, tap in with me, text me at that number, check me on lives when I go live every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tap into the Business Builders Institute, tap in with Sierra, tap in with people who are making things happen. Surround yourself with the right people and continue to level up, right?
I got to ask you something about data, right? Because I was a lot of success from intuition, right? But because it's like, it's like I want to move the data. Now I'm like, for a person who's pure data and then a person intuitive, how do we decide what moves to make when the quite tell us, but like tells us this is the winner?
So 2 things. If you're purely intuition driven, it's going to be difficult for you. Shout out to Destiny Inspire. There go my guy right there, Mr. Valbrun himself. Yeah. What's good, Mikkel, man? Oh, all is well. Can we bring him in too somehow? Probably
That's
should.
My boy, bring him in.
You want to come in, bro? I know it's only going to be on the IG side, but we bring him in. We just wrapping it up. I'm still going to invite him, see if he comes in real quick. But when it comes to someone, oh, there he goes. What's good, brother? Oh, he missed all of that, man.
Marathon continues.
Yes, sir. Listen, so Sierra just asked a good question. And I want you to chime in on this too. She's asking, I was preaching that it's important to look at data in your business. Data helps you to steer and make sound decision making, right? Now, there's a lot of people who are more intuition driven, right? And intuition plays a big part, but you have to marry it with data, right? So what I'm going to say is 2 things. 1, people don't buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it, right? It's one of my favorite TED Talks by a guy named Simon Sinek, right? Buy what you sell, they buy why you sell it. So Apple sells phones. Apple sells Apple. What else they sell? I don't even know. iPads. I don't know. All of that, right? But if they sold a car, which they might be soon, you'd probably still buy it without questioning. If they sold a couch, you might too. Like, damn, they selling a couch. Okay, let me check it out, right? Mm-hmm. Because we resonate with what they sell. Mm-hmm. Purchasing is a feeling. That's why people say things like, I don't know, it just feels right. Or I don't know, they say those things because it's an actual part of your brain that drives that decision, is a minimal part of it, right? For the person that's purchasing. So that's why when it comes to how we're we need to also address people's emotion when you're selling. So that's where the stuff comes in. In terms of business strategy, it's important to look at the data in order to reduce your overall risk, right? So to me, you need to marry the two. This is why and when I have a team, I use DISC assessment. It's like a personality test, right? Like Myers-Briggs DISC assessment. Okay, I'm a high D, and I'm very, got to make these decisions really or something, be more meticulous and more structured to rein me in at times, right? And that's my COO right there, business builder. That's my COO of ATAC Solutions. She reins me in, right? So you create a team that mesh well together.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mikhail?
Yeah. So so I'm an accountant. So I'm numbers driven. I'm data driven. So I really like to rely on the numbers. And for me, I'm really starting to rely more on my intuition and really looking at the intuition piece. Like you said, I realized that one of these things I learned in business, like you said, people buy, a lot of times people buy why you're doing something, right? So people buy from who they know, like, and trust.
Yep.
So with that, it's not necessarily about the numbers. You need to understand, you need to be out there providing a solution and really looking at what your customer really is going after, right? So with Apple, one of the reasons why at least I get Apple products is because I know they're looking to innovate. They're always thinking about how can I make this product, this thing a lot easier for you, right? We have the big things. We make it faster. We have all these different they're doing to it. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that I love about it. So yeah, I mean, you need to vary both. And like you said, that this assessment is key because you want to make sure that if the area that you're lacking, like I said, for me, more analytical person, but you also need to have that person who's like an eye, who's like more interpersonal, understands people, could feel people.
It's actually us too, actually. I think about, when did I talk to you? What day was it? Remember I called you and I'm like giving him my ideas and he's like, that sounds great. I'm like, no, but I know I'm crazy. So I need
exactly.
Help me some data, an analysis that I'm not going to give to give me your perspective, please. Because I'm just highly intuitive. I'm like, I told my parents when I was in middle school, I told them, invest in Apple stock, right? So yes, they thought I was crazy, but my freaking intuition was right, wasn't it? Imagine if my parents invested in Apple when I was in middle school.
What year were you in middle school?
I don't know. I'm 30 now. But I don't know.
Like, what would that be? 2000 something? 2000? I don't know. So around that time, Steve Jobs got kicked out of Apple in the early 90s, I think, and then started his own company. Then Apple tanked, really. And they bought his company and brought him back in. Right now, it was like bottom out. I wanted to buy stock in Apple at the time and didn't even know how to do it. I just knew that, this is going to be the future. And since then, that they launched like the colorful iPads, not iPads, iMacs, and then eventually the iPod, and it's just been a steady trajectory like that. So look at that. You would have, can you imagine where your parents would have been even at that point? But listen, I love it. Michelle, what?
And then it's like, but the thing about it is, right, that's crazy. That's literally crazy. If they listened to me, they probably would have been crazy. How do you listen to this young little kid who's telling you purely from intuition? And it's like, I want to move data driven. And I actually was on the phone with my assistant earlier planning out my event. I'm just like, I want to do this, like the dreamer in the room, but then she's like reining me back, like, how are we going to do this? I'm like, I don't know, you're starting to
But that's what you need, though. That's what you need, Sierra. You need those people who's going to be on your team that's going to be, okay, that sounds great. So let me lay it out specifically. And then you're just getting like reports in essence, right? Because you have that vision, right? And you have that intuition thing. So now you take these database reports and then you use your intuition to make your decisions. You feel me? That's what's up. That's what's up. So Michelle, man, listen, we've been talking tonight about horizontal and vertical integration and how do you choose what's your next business to start. All right. So that's that.
Can you say that again? That sounds like a whole economics.
Bro, you missed the whole thing, man. We went into how I started each company and how, everything just kind of spawned off of into how I perfected a certain thing within my company, like let's say HR. I perfected hiring from across overseas, like Philippines, Caribbean, wherever. And after I perfected it out to its own LLC so that it can handle the HR for all of my other companies, plus have external clients as well, because other entrepreneurs need these remote workers as well that can help you at a lower cost per month and highly effective, right? So this form of horizontal integration helped me to grow to right now 10 companies, right? But I also had some vertical integration where I started out in e-commerce and I was doing private labeling, right? And then after making my first $1 million ever, I made in e-commerce private labeling. And then I said, oh, there's also drop shipping. So it's another e-commerce, but it was within entire cycle of company. So it stayed within that company. And this is why I started going from the thing, but I did it in a structured way. Because that was one concern I had is like, yo, but how do you stuff? And when you have a structure building it becomes somewhat autonomous. It's run without you, move from being to being a business owner. And that's the big summary, the quick summary of everything that we were talking about earlier, bro.
I love it. That's understand because, like you said, I think a lot of times people out the gate want to start like 5, 10 LLCs, all these different businesses. But it sounds like what you did was like focus on one business. You gotta scale up to $1 million, and you're like, okay, what's a business that can support that business?
Yes.
You created another, and it was just easier for you to transition. And on the low, high key, low key, that's like a tax strategy too, right? Because now that business, and yeah,
you see,
you just didn't know the terms for it. Vertical and horizontal integration, where your business's needs are being met by their needs.
There we go.
I love that he's talking about this because it's like that's how he wanted to talk about it because he's like that's how you decide what business to start next based off of the needs of your other businesses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell everybody, and then we're gonna wrap it up after this. I always tell people that there's three main vehicles for creating wealth in this country, in this world, right? And that's building a business, real estate, and the financial markets like stocks and Forex and such, right? Now, you can make a lot of money in stocks. You could still be in your 9 to 5, and then you could be buying some real estate and play in the stock market, and you could become a millionaire. You could get financial wealth, but you don't get that time wealth because that freedom, because if you're working for someone else, then you don't get your time to do whatever you want or whatever, right? Now, here's the thing. In the financial markets, let's say I buy Apple stock. I can make a whole lot of money in Apple stock, right? But I'll never make whatever I people who founded it, the people who have the most stock and whatnot do, what they make. So if I build my own businesses, that's why, I said to myself, it has forms of revenue, right? 7 streams of revenue. So I'm gonna make all 7 to start in businesses, right? Then I started going off beyond that and getting real estate and other things. I can control the destiny of these businesses better. I can control the potential wealth that I could create on top of these businesses, right? So that's why I focus on that aspect, that financial vehicle of creating wealth more than the others.
Favorite books back in the day was Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read that in high school, and it literally changed my life. And he talks about something similar. He talks about the
cash flow quadrant. See?
Quadrant. And that blew my mind. So, and the way he breaks it down is like there's 4 ways to produce income. You can make income as an employed individual, self-employed individual, business owner, and investor.
There you go.
This is the mind-blowing thing. So the self-employed individual and the employed individual, that's like 95% of the population. But then 95% of the wealth is made by the business owner and investor.
Yep. Yeah.
On self-employed, like I'm a business owner, I'm free. But what they don't realize is when you work for yourself, a lot of times you're probably putting in more hours. You're not working 40, 50. You know what I mean? If you don't have it set up right, you're probably working 100 some weeks, right? Mm-hmm. So as that business owner or as that self-employed and employee, you're trading time for money. So the business can't make money unless you're out there. If you're doing like a service-based business, your business can't make money unless you're actually working in the business.
Yep.
But the business owner investor, you're leveraging as a business owner, you're using people to make money, and then with the investor using money to make money.
Yep.
And this is even the craziest part about it. So the people on that right side make the most money, and they pay the least amount of money in taxes.
Yep. We just talked about that. That's exactly. You see, Michelle knows. He knows, man. I love it.
I just thought about a reel that I want to. So the other day, I literally just spent time like thinking about content because I haven't been making content, and I was on TikTok, and I've never been on TikTok, and I just saw the most toxic post I could ever see, and there was a whole bunch of them, and they made me want to throw up because it was people doing a whole bunch of things in their business saying being an entrepreneur is like. And I'm like, that is not right. Like packing up all of their, responding to all of their emails, going to the freaking post office. I'm like, no. This is wrong. And there's a whole bunch of these posts. So I just want to go shake up TikTok real quick and really be like, that is not business. That is not business. If you have to do all of those things, you're not running a business.
That is self-employed. There we go.
Delegation. Like BEEZ says, BEEZ has a business where he has VAs and he literally outsources the VAs. That's the real hack on the low. Like, people feel like you got like a full-time person and all that kind of stuff, but you go ahead and get a VA and you pay them a few dollars an hour, and that's, you know what I mean? Like, you can literally pay a VA less than $10 an hour for some of these jobs, and it's crazy. Mm-hmm. They literally have schools overseas where they teach them how to do our jobs, like for us, like how to work for us.
Mm-hmm. It's true. What is Nagahachi saying? They don't want to hire. They want to take credit for everything enslaved. I don't know what he mean in there, but okay.
Well, I think he's talking about the people who think that they're running businesses.
It's a virtual
Got
assistant.
you. Oh, yeah.
It's someone that doesn't necessarily work physically with you. Sometimes they're overseas. Sometimes they could be in the States, but they pretty much work like some of the things, like there's things in your business that you may not want to do, like maybe you don't want to respond to emails, maybe you don't want to do like a whole bunch of data entry, so you can hire these virtual assistants to work for your business. So now, right, you're not doing everything in your business, and then you get that time freedom. Because a lot of us, you know what I mean, we feel like a lot of us get into business not just to get in business, but we really get into it so we can have more freedom, so we can be able to live our lives. You know what I mean? Like, I was out of town. I was out in DC this weekend, and my business was still operating just because, you know what I'm saying, I have that time freedom, and I continue to try to get more and more of that time freedom by hiring, outsourcing, all of that kind of stuff.
There you go. And one last thing I'll say, since we're talking about VAs, and that's one of my companies, is ATAK Solutions, AYTAK Solutions. If you're interested in getting VAs, definitely go check out ATAK Solutions. We take care of it. Expected to not only source and find and hire, but also how to manage, right? It's important too. A lot of times people go and get a VA or an employee at all, and they, what's that money coming? They get a VA and they have them sitting there. Say what's up.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name? You can't put a kid in front of me.
Tell them your name. Say your name.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because you asked your name. Say my
You wanted
name.
to be on camera.
Yeah, you came all up in here. Say my name.
I just want to tell you something.
What do you want?
Once you're done, can I try this?
Okay. No problem.
Do you know 177 people could see you right now?
Ooh, look at that. They're all watching you.
Famous.
So my supply chain company, the one in China, it's called Seller Kai. That's his name, Kai.
I see your birthday?
Yeah, it's his birthday today.
Happy birthday! Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. Him and his twin sister.
They had a dope party.
Can I try this in my room?
Yes, you can try in your room. Yeah, you saw the party? About to put a little video that did too. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna post it right after.
The kids are successful people because I'm like, these kids got lives.
Yeah.
These kids don't know how good they got
it. Yeah, for real. And somebody said he know his dad gonna say yes if it's on camera. So that's why he came over. For real. Anyway, listen. I appreciate both of you for tapping in. I don't want to keep you any longer. Plus, the kids were looking for me now. So, yo, it was a great conversation. I loved it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Everybody, make sure you are following me, Business Builder BEEZ. Make sure you're following Sierra _ESQ. Make sure you're following Michelle, is Michelle Valbrun. Am I pronouncing your last name right? Valbrun?
You got it. Michelle Valbrun.
Michelle Valbrun. I got to pronounce it properly. Michelle Valbrun. Okay? Yeah, but much love, y'all. Same here. Thank you all for joining. Check out the Business Builders Institute if you're interested in any more mentorship. Check out ATAC Solutions if you want VAs. Do you guys have anything you want to tell people to check out as well?
I have like a lot of stuff coming.
There you go.
But just follow.
Follow Sierra.
Post notifications on. That's all I got for you.
Get ready for her birthday party coming up.
Yes. That.
What about you, Michelle?
No, man, just tap in with BEEZ, man. BEEZ is the man. He does everything, literally.
Man.
He is the plug for everything: business credit, virtual assistants, scaling your business, automation, all of that good stuff, man. So y'all are in some great hands, man. So I'm honored to be on this live, bro.
Thank you. So real talk Tina, I like real talk Tina. She be asking some real stuff. So because everybody say thank you, real talk Tina, because she just said any coupon code though. I don't always do it, but I'm gonna do it right now just for y'all because it was a great live. I'm gonna give a coupon code for the Business Builders Institute, which is my mentorship. You could join. I'll give everybody. You see what I'm saying? She asked for it, so I'll give out a little something because I'm all about everybody getting the information. Most importantly, getting the information, but even more important than that, executing on the information. Right? You got to make things happen. So we're gonna say a coupon code of Tina. Oh yeah, we're gonna call it Real Talk. Real Talk is the coupon code that if you purchase, give me about 15-20 minutes from now. It's 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. I'll have my team set up a quick coupon code for Real Talk, and then that will get $1,000 off of my mentorship. Look at that. Thanks to Real Talk Tina. I gotta remember, Britt, in case I forget what I just said, because I just be saying, see, like, listen, you just promising shit, and we ain't read it yet. So I
would do that all the time.
Yeah. So
and then if you guys want to join me on my birthday, the first week of October, we're having a 2-day mastermind. You guys are gonna learn from all my amazing friends. All my friends are smart, and I want to really spend some time talking about protecting your assets, protecting your business. So I'm excited. There's so many surprises. Like, I don't want to even talk about it, but if you want to join me, DM me birthday, and I got something for you.
Ooh, here we go. I'm ready to turn up for Sierra's birthday. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, we're actually turning up too. Like, we're actually turning up. I'm trying to secure my club right now.
You
That's
see?
why I'm not saying too much because I'm like securing the music. But I got some things in the works for y'all.
Libra gang.
True that. All right, my peoples, much love. That $1,000 off with the coupon code will be active for 24 hours starting in 15 minutes. So we'll get it going. Michelle, Sierra, thank you so much. Been a pleasure as always. Much love, and I'll see you guys soon.
Saturday.
All right, everybody. Take care. Have a great night. Let's go.
Bye.
All right, we can end up on here too. And good.